Okay, hello. Hello po, tatay. Hello.
Hello, Nanay Jet.
Good morning sa ating lahat and welcome to
Morning.
Marriage
There's
Empowerment
empowerment
Toast.
toast.
So, good morning sa ating lahat and I'm Nanay Jet for those who are new in this channel and new in our group. And this is Tata.
Morning.
Of course, it's Tatay Money and Nanay Jet. Good morning sa ating lahat. And
Good morning.
while waiting for the others, Tatay, dahil it takes time talaga na mapunta sila dito sa live session natin. We are live, no? And it's our 6th week already. So imagine isang buwan at kalahati na
Yeah,
tayo. And this is our 6th webisode.
and we never thought of it.
Yeah. So this is a dream come true para sa
Mm.
atin, tatay, because we never thought na mapunta tayo dito sa online at sa group
Yeah,
ng mga marriage people, no, ng mga marriage couples.
yeah.
So it's really a gift to us and we are happy for this particular opportunity.
Happy and joyful.
Yes.
Okay.
So, tatay, while waiting for the others, let me greet mga katribo, yung mga nasa tribo natin. Comment po, good morning sa inyong lahat. Paki-comment and then just click the link above para naman makikita namin yung mga comments ninyo because we are here inside the studio. So, naririnig nyo ba kami? Because we do not have a way to check. So, we are checking this time. Rinig nyo ba kami? Naririnig nyo ba yung mga nagsuscroll ako sa Facebook natin, tatay? Ano? So, we are scrolling here kung live na ba tayo and naririnig na ba tayo sa audience natin. So, for now, I would like to greet, no, shout out lang sa mga babae sa tribong ito, Marriage Empowerment Tribe, and then happy International Women's Day kahapon,
Yes,
tatay.
was yesterday.
Yes, and then in fact the whole month isa siyang buong buwan na para sa mga kababaihan.
Kababaihan.
So this
That's
is
the one
actually
ito.
women empowerment. Ang tema talaga is more on women empowerment. And we are also in that particular advocacy, no, na i-empower natin yung mga wifeys na nandito.
Yeah, that's important.
Yes. And then just to make a recap, tatay, on what we had so far. So comment naman kayo diyan sa baba, no, while we are doing the recap. What we had so far is we had this particular last topic on the habit of happiness.
Yeah.
So when we are going to cultivate it, sabi nila 21 days lang pwede mo nang ma-cultivate yung habit of happiness.
21 days habit forming.
Yes,
Okay.
habit forming talaga. Kahit anong habits yan, kahit hindi pa happiness, talagang ma-form yung habit na yan.
21 days na palagi kang matulog bawat umaga.
Oh, so
becomes
yun,
a
maging
habit.
habit mo na matagal
Habit.
ka bumangon, so
Um,
maging habit yan. So, eto yung kino-cultivate natin for the last week is the habit of happiness. And sabi pa nga, happiness is an inside job.
Yeah.
Yes. So, talagang napakahalaga na nanggaling sa loob natin yung effort na maging happy.
Not coming from outside.
Yes.
It's an inside job.
Mm-mm. So, we are looking into your comments. Good morning, everyone. So, here in that case, good morning, Sis Jen. Good morning. And then we thank you for being here with us every Tuesday. 1 hour is already a big cut of your time,
Yeah.
alam namin. Pero eto yung pinakamalakas at mabilis yung connectivity natin. So we are choosing this anyway. This particular video will be here for the whole ano natin sa group natin. So in a way, kung andyan kayo sa group natin, just follow through and play the replay of this particular episode. Kung nandyan kayo sa page natin, you just have to follow the page and try to also write a comment para naman makikita namin kung we are giving value to all of you.
Yeah,
ano?
we know that they will find time
Yes.
listening to our video.
Kasi pag meron ka talagang inaalot na oras for learning, merong mangyayari na maganda sa buhay mo.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, and we are now into the boosters, tatay.
Oh,
Dito na tayo
boosters.
sa boosters. Ano ba yung booster sa Tagalog?
Parang
Yung
vaccine yun.
Oo,
Booster.
sa vaccine natin mayroon tayong booster, so pampalakas siya, tatay.
Pampalakas.
Oo. So it triggers more efficacy. So magiging effective lalo yung habit forming ninyo kung mayroong mga boosters na
Boosters.
inyong ilalagay sa relationship ninyo.
Happy ka na, mas happy ka pa.
Oh,
Oo.
yes. So happy ka na, mas happy ka pa.
Okay.
So we have here with us Sis Jen, and then
Morning, Sir Jen.
good morning. So here in this case, we now start with the first booster.
Yeah.
So para naman hindi ano yung oras nila, no? Masasayang yung oras ninyo. So the first happiness booster is by the way, before ko parang nakalimutan ko, meron tayong mga secrets na ibinigay noon, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Yes. So I think before the boosters, we have to recall on the secrets. Baka
So,
busy-busy yung
part,
mga wifeys.
part of being happy yung makalimut because of happiness.
Yeah.
Malilimutan mo tuloy.
And also because of age, ulyanin na minsan. So you just have to accept.
Women's month ngayon.
Oo. So we have to accept reality sometimes. Now, so secret number 1 that we gave them last episode natin is the ability to adjust to things beyond his or her control. Oo. So dapat
Adjust.
marunong mag-adjust para hindi naman mawawala yung kaligayahan. And secret number 2 is learn to find the right attitude.
Yes.
So yung tama talaga yung attitude natin towards a certain circumstance, no? And then cultivate contentment in every circumstance.
Yes.
Na
Right.
maging kontento ka lang, no? But it doesn't mean na in your contentment you will no longer do some actions, no? So kasi yung boosters natin meron silang gagawin dito eh. But then by your heart you also have to align your joy to God's joy na binigay niya sa iyo. So it doesn't mean na dahil mayroong mga sacrifices, mayroong mga trials, hindi ka natatawa or hindi ka na mag-smile, di ba? So you really have to cultivate contentment in every circumstance.
Oh,
No?
of course, that does not defeat one's ambition.
Yes, of course. And then mayroong mga hazards of happiness, mayroong mga balakid yung happiness. And one of them is the what? The self-pity
Self-pity.
or the kawawa ako syndrome. So, kung naalala mo, parang wala kang energy ngayon,
Wala.
tatay. Inaantok. Siguro nag-habit ka forming sa sleep. So, yung second hazard naman, yung blame.
Blame attitude.
Oo, ikaw kasi, lagi mo na lang kasi na parang biniblame mo yung partner mo, of course, it can be a hazard or an obstacle of the joy of your
And that
heart.
was intended to avoid personal responsibility. Blaming others is actually avoiding personal responsibility.
Mm-mm. And then, next hazard or obstacle na nakikita natin, yung resentment, yung laging masama ang loob.
Combination ng self-pity at saka blaming.
Laging merong sama ng loob yung puso mo. So even if yung sama ng loob mo nasa in-laws mo, sa workmates mo, or saan man yan nakukuha mo at nadadala mo sa partner mo.
Dinala mo sa sarili at dinala mo sa iba. Parang joyful ka magsishare nun. But it will never be a joyful experience.
Yes, and of course, happiness will also be affected.
Yes.
And another one is, capital letters talaga, complaining. So if you keep on complaining sa buhay, hindi ka talaga sasaya, tatay.
Hindi ka sasaya, nakasimangot yung mukha mo.
Kaya yung antidote niya is yung contentment. Kasi nagko-complain ka, lalo na pag may kino-compare ka sa sitwasyon, di ba? So, in that case, I'm complaining and I'm not satisfied. So, antidote talaga yung being contented.
These three are what are known as the poison of happiness.
And sa atin, mag-asawa, living happily ever after only works when you make it work. Yes.
It's a personal decision.
So, I cannot just be happy kung hindi ko talaga isa sa loob ko. Yung
Yes.
inner self ko na gusto ko talagang maging happy. So it's a choice.
It's a choice, actually.
So it's a choice. So shall we start with the booster now?
Yes.
Okay? So
Mm.
handa na ba kayo
Oh,
for the boosters? Ano? So, 6 na boosters ito, tatay, and I think this is enough for the mag-asawa na pwede nilang magamit, no, in their relationship, and wala naman sigurong mag-asawa na hindi gustong maging happy.
in fact, that is one of the cherished goals of every person, happiness.
Yes, in fact, pag ano, kaya nga minsan yung iba, yung they long for divorce or they long for separation, yung naging reason nila is actually, I'm no longer happy
I'm
with
no
you.
longer happy with you.
Yeah, I'm no longer
Oh,
happy with you. So, yan din, we also have to look into kung ano yung definition of happiness niya.
yeah.
'Di ba? Bakit sa umpisa happy ka tayo, tapos bigla na lang nawawala yung happiness. So maybe it's because of this. They did not make it work.
Yeah.
Okay. So living happily after is actually a decision. It's a choice natin mag-asawa, and we have to cling on it
And it's
na
part of commitment, deciding on something.
yeah.
We decide.
Mm,
Okay.
mm, mm, mm.
So when we commit to each other, we simply decide on being happy.
Mm,
Okay.
mm, mm. Kasi pag hindi desisyon, hindi mo ginawang desisyon na maging happy, then lagi kang
Mm.
nakamukmok.
Or
Mm.
if you do not decide, who will decide for you?
Yes, so it should.
Others will not be deciding for your own happiness,
Mm,
right? Because it's an inside job. So we have to decide. It's a matter of decision making.
mm, mm.
Okay.
So we go to booster number 1. So welcome sis and Brad.
Welcome everyone to
So
our
click the link para makikita namin yung comments ninyo po. So we are now in booster number 1. Ito yung bilangin ng inyong mga
in
blessings.
English.
Count your
Count your
blessings. No?
blessings.
Count your blessings. And I think this is part of gratitude.
This is part of gratitude. Gratitude is actually counting your blessings. Naalala ko yung song ni Jose Maria,
Mm-mm.
yung Count Your Blessings when you go to sleep,
Mm-mm.
right?
So, in this particular booster number 1, in counting your blessing, number 1 is we have to be intentional.
Yes.
So we have to be purposeful na this day is a happy day for us, and
Mm,
everything na meron tayo, trials man or something to celebrate of, is we have to have the intention na magiging happy tayo no matter
the
what.
keyword here is intent. At
Mm.
the very start of the day, there has to be intent to be happy.
And another technique, tatay, na ako personally, ginagawa ko talaga to. And ikaw, you have your diary, right?
Yeah.
Me, I have my journal. So, keeping a journal is also one way of counting your blessings. Kasi pero hindi sanay tayo. Sa culture natin, hindi sanay. Siguro lang dahil nasa academe tayo, sanay tayo magsulat. But anybody can keep a journal, no? So you can have just an ordinary notebook and try to list ano ba yung mga magagandang nangyayari, kasi pag hindi mo nakikita yung magagandang nangyayari, then that is when the time na complaining ka, 'di
Yeah.
ba? Nagrereklamo ka palagi kasi hindi mo na nakikita yung good in the bad
Mm.
situation. So,
So, two kinds of journals here I would try to speak of. There is what is known as written journal and unwritten journal. Ang mga lalaki, more me sa unwritten journal.
So, kasi ano, yung isip ninyo, you are
Uh,
more into providing the
yeah.
family and quite busy. But then, it's a good habit. Kahit once a week lang, kahit weekly lang, kung hindi pwedeng every day for the mag-asawa, but this is a good exercise. Yes, this is a good exercise na meron kayong weekly writing of your
Pwede
journal.
naman na ang aming sekretary yung aming asawa.
Oo.
Oh, ito yung
Oo.
blessing namin ngayon, isulat mo.
Ano nga pala yung blessing natin ngayon. So, yes, it can also happen as long as you do it
It
together.
can be a conjugal diary or a
Mm-mm.
conjugal journal.
And another, sa bilangin ng inyong blessing is, you should also have a grateful spirit.
Yeah.
Yung
Yung
gratitude,
gratitude.
yung
Because you cannot
gratitude.
count your blessings if you, in the first place, you are not grateful. Blessings come into play the moment you have a grateful heart. Only grateful people can speak of blessings.
Mm,
Those who
mm,
are not grateful, they will never speak about blessings.
mm, mm.
Would you agree?
Yes, of
Okay.
course. And then siguro another thing na pwede natin for intentional is yung gratitude visit, tatay.
Yeah. Oh.
We did it, yung pagbibisita ninyo ng mga friends, kasi nga lang COVID sa ngayon, ano, but before, yung wala pang COVID, you can, na ano mo ba, na kung nagbibisita kayo with friends, nagbibisita kayo in-laws, kung malayo yung in-laws ninyo, nagbibisita kayo ng mga kapatid ninyo, iba yung joy, iba
Yes.
yung happiness natin. And that particular visit actually is a gratitude visit, no?
Oh.
Kasi doon mo mako-connect yung bawat isa eh.
Yeah.
It's keeping the relationship strong. The relationship does not only mean na tayo lang dalawa, 'di ba? It can also mean with our siblings, with our friends.
Yes. We may not call it gratitude visit, but the people to whom we are doing the visit will call it gratitude visit.
Oo nga, kaya
Yeah.
minsan pag alis natin sasabihin nila, "Salamat sa pagpunta niyo."
Yes.
'Di ba?
Oh.
And minsan nga yung merong mga nagkasakit na friends natin tapos binibisita natin, uplifting eh.
Yeah.
Uplifting yung
If our friends whom we visited were happy with our visit, how much more our parents?
yes, lalo na yung mga matatanda na yung
Yeah.
parents, ano.
They will wake up early. They will be preparing food for you. That would be their act of gratitude for our visit, right?
Another thing na sa booster number 1 natin na bilangin ang inyong mga blessings, tatay, yung isang tinatawag nilang savor the good events.
Yes.
Savor good events.
Good
Kasi,
events only.
oo,
Oh.
kasi yung parang nakapikit ka lang and you say, thank you Lord for this particular joy that I'm feeling today. Kasi katulad ngayon, birthday ng anak natin.
Ah, yes.
'Di ba? Happy birthday!
Mars, happy
Masyadong kay
birthday,
Genesis
Kuya.
Gabriel. So, happy birthday. It's his 26th birthday. And matanda na yung anak
Matanda
namin.
na.
Malapit na mag-asawa siguro. And but we still sing happy birthday to him for
Yeah.
26 years.
I woke up this morning very early,
Oo.
around 9 o'clock.
Yun yung ano natin eh, parang ritual na namin mag-asawa na we really have to buy cake kahit walang budget. Minsan, bumibili kami ng kokonting
Yeah.
cake with the candle and sing a happy birthday with another song, family song namin na parang theme song namin sa pamilya. Yun yung mga pinagagawa namin every year na mag-birthday yung anak namin, tsaka yung adopted namin. So, happy birthday, shout out sa anak ko, no? So, let us just make a review. So, bilangin ang inyong mga blessings, be intentional, keep a journal, and then make some gratitudes visit, and then, of course, savor good
And there
events.
is one thing I would like to add, Jet.
Mm-mm.
In our studies, we usually say intent is meaningless unless it ripens into overt acts. Meaning, there is no meaning to your intent unless you put it into action, overt action. So, stop complaining, that is an overt act. Keep a journal, that is an overt act. Do
Gratitude.
visit, gratitude visit. Savor good events. Now, savoring good events, parang pagkain ito. I would remember our dean who was a nun telling me when I take my breakfast, savor the taste of the food. Don't
Ye-
be in a hurry. That's the thing here is the enemy of savoring good events is when we are in a hurry. We
Laging
cannot
nagmamadali.
nagmamadali. We can
Hindi
no
mo
longer
na
save.
masisavor
Yeah.
yung masasarap na pagkain
Yeah.
nila Sir Joseph Pardo. Good
Ah.
morning. Ang sarap magluto
Oh,
ng misis niya.
oh.
Diyos ko, sarap
So
talaga.
savor the good events in life. Whatever is that memorable event, take time to savor its goodness, and we will be counting the blessings.
Yes. So shout out kay Sir Joseph. Good morning, sir, and thank you for
Well, good morning.
being here with us every Tuesday 9 to 10 in the morning. So yan, booster number 1, bilangin ang inyong mga blessings.
Count your blessings and do it.
Yes.
Do not just say count, really count.
And being intentional is not just up to
Yeah.
the intentions, but there should
Do
be
it.
some actions.
Like today, counting our blessing, we are so blessed to have a son, one son. And so counting that blessing, you do buy him a cake
And
yesterday.
then,
Manyanita this.
Oh.
Oh,
12 in
Uh,
midnight, para
yeah.
lang kantahan siya ng happy birthday.
And no person will be angry about it. Okay?
So, we go, move on to booster
Yeah,
number
number
2.
two.
So, hinihintay na nila yung booster number 2 and we have to hide the ticker. So, subukan ang mga bagong bagay.
Bagong ba? New things.
Try new things naman. Kasi
Oh.
nakaka-bore. Kaya nga minsan yung mga mag-asawa sabihin, maghiwalay na lang tayo. Hindi na ako happy sa'yo. Bakit? Naging boring na yung relationship.
Breakfast, same food.
Oh.
Lunch, same food. Dinner, the same food.
Kaya nga, napakaswerte ni Sir Joseph kasi almusal, at saka lunch, at saka dinner, iba-iba talaga yung ano niya. Iba-iba yung food niya. So, subukan ng mga bagong bagay. So, how do we try new things now? So, bigyan natin sila ng tip. Number 1 is become fanatics together. So, become fanatics together. Paano ba maging fanatic together? Meron akong kakilala tatay na mag-couple na naging fanatic sila sa sayaw. So, they alam mo ba, si Ma'am Cresgo, at saka yung pa-shoutout kay Ma'am Cresgo, at saka yung asawa niya, ang galing magsayaw. Kasi yung babae, si Ma'am Cres, maganda siyang magsayaw, at saka naging hobby na nila, they dance together. Si lalaki naman, magaling sa Tai Chi. Diba, si Sir? Ang galing sa Tai Chi. And they do Tai Chi together. So they are now in their senior years and they are doing it for so many years. And they are now staying in the States, but yet they are doing live on Facebook, tatay, dancing together and doing Tai Chi. So one thing pala na maging booster sa happiness, sa joy ninyo mag-asawa, is when you try new thing and doing something na magiging fanatic kayo together. Tayo nga, ano yung ginagawa natin?
Ito, may secret kang marami.
Yung ginagawa namin, sikreto daw, pero hindi naman sikreto, no? We are fanatics of this particular job on evangelization. So, we have gone to several places. Ang layo-layo ng mapupuntahan namin just to evangelize, just to share our experience as a couple, no? So, pumupunta kami ng mga, ini-invite kami maging speaker, pumupunta kami ng mga iba't ibang places just to talk about being
And we are happy
loving
about it.
and being happy. And then, what are the secrets kung bakit kailangang maging happy tayong mag-asawa
And in
palagi.
doing so, Jit, we did not count the costs.
Yes,
We
yes.
even
Kaya
spend
nga,
our,
diba, excuse me, kaya nga sabi ni Father Vernon, etong dalawang mag-asawang ito parang buwang. Parang baliw daw kami. Kasi kahit ang layo and they invite us to talk, to share what we know, and to share anything, no? Na, anong yung mga topics for couples, then we go with a big yes. So yan, fanatic kami dyan.
We just realize it to be like that. Since the very start of our marriage, we have been fanatic with this particular activity.
Yes. So we do it with joy and we are happy. Diba? So,
And it can be found in our faces, it can be seen in our faces.
Another thing that you have to try new things with respect to your sex life.
Gating yan.
Okay, parental guidance.
Parental guidance, sex life, new things about sex life. What's the parental guidance there?
Minsan, lalo na, sabi pa nga ng mga experts, kaming mga babae is a very complex creation ng Panginoon. 'Di ba? Kung may mga hobbies dito, kindly comment. Madali ba maintindihan yung mga wifeys?
Hindi naman complicated talaga. Kaming mga lalaki galing kami sa lupa.
So, sa lupa ka babalik.
As simple as that. Nothing complicated.
Oo, pero tayong mga babae, mga
Galing.
wifeys,
Galing mo.
sa marami talagang mga hobbies na mini-mentor namin, sabi nila, nako, I'm confused with my wife. Sa isang punto, sabi niya, ito yung gusto niya. And then, the next time, hindi na naman niya gusto, iba na naman yung gusto niya. So, very complex as a creation of God. Talagang sinasadya ng Panginoon na you really have to discover the complexity of a woman. And most especially, biologically, we are having hormonal changes.
Hormonal.
Oo, may inaano sa hormones.
Kami wala kami hormone.
Ay, meron, ano, meron. Kung alam nyo lang.
Meron
Okay,
talaga.
meron naman sa science natin. So, we have lots of hormonal changes na minsan, kung hindi mo sinasabi sa hobby mo, hindi nila tayo maintindihan kung bakit irritable tayo that day, bakit merong tantrum tayo for that day. So, here in this case, we really have to nurture, no? Ina-nurture natin yung happiness kasi dapat gawing habit eh. So if you entertain your tantrums, if you entertain your anger, kung bakit naging irritable ka, and you miss the time na maging happy.
Yes.
So try new things in your sexual life. Kaya nga, yung sinasabi namin before about yung topic natin na healthy sex, na talagang we also need some changes, some adventure, no? Merong pang snacks, merong gourmet, full na full ka, merong quickie, merong tigi-tigi, dapat. And we also have this what we call, do not eliminate the public display of affection.
PDA.
The PDA thing, no? Yung just the mere touching, wag naman yung medyo na-scandalize na yung mga tao sa labas, ano. But, meaning, di ba, pag mag-sweethearts tayo, merong holding hands.
Holding hands.
Pero pag tumatanda, nako.
Kahit matulog sa gabi, holding hands pa rin.
Oo. Kasi minsan yung nakikita mo, merong mga couples na ang layo na ng ano nila, distance nila.
Ang layo ng agwat.
Ang layo ng distance nila na maglakad, wala nang holding hands, nauuna na si lalaki. So kaya nga nagiging joke siya eh, na buti pa mag-sweethearts pa tayo.
Wala nang grace kung tawagin.
So these are things na it will boost, no? So subukan ng mga bagong bagay.
But it has to be done within the context of marriage. Because they might think new things in sex life is looking for another partner.
Nope.
No.
Bawal yan. Bawal yan. Kasi nasa commitment stage yan. Now we have to stick to one another.
Sexuality comes into play. Take note of the purpose of sex in married life. So it has to be done. New things will pertain only to the frequency, to the place of the occurrence of the event, how you do it, for as long as within the context of marriage and marital fidelity.
Yes,
Okay.
correct. So, let me just ask you, Be. So, let me ask you, rate yourself from 1 to 5. Sa counting your blessing na booster number 1, ano yung rate ninyo? Rini-rate natin yung sarili natin. So, ano yung rating ninyo? Nagka-count ba kayo ng blessings from 1 as the lowest and 5 the highest? And then count or rate yourself when you try new things. Ano ba? Lagi ba kayong nagtatry ng mga bagong bagay? Okay? Especially in your sex life and becoming fanatics together, no? And then another thing of trying new things, Tatay, is when you buy experiences. Ano bang ibig sabihin nito? When you make your date nights sacred. It's not right. Kasi when you make date nights, minsan, lumalabas talaga tayo sa bahay. And that entails budget.
Yeah.
So, kung, eto, mahilig sa pagkain eh.
Pagkain talaga.
So, when we go outside, we have an eat out.
We need to visit sa restaurant ni Sir Joseph.
Later. So, Sir Joseph,
Kakain talaga kami.
So, here, in this particular booster, Tatay, when you buy experiences, yung yung iba nagbabakasyon. So our advice, because this one, buy nga eh, so it entails budget. So this is something that is planned.
Yeah.
Kasi minsan hindi nakasali sa budgeting natin and na-overdraft tayo, nade-deficit tayo sa budget natin. So, but do not think of the budget, instead think of the moment, no?
Okay.
Yung making it sacred na you do it because you
Mm.
want to enjoy the two of you
Yes.
without the children, for example, you will have an
And
adventure.
that's very
Mm,
necessary.
yes, correct. So that's trying new things.
Okay.
So we have also what we call trying new friends.
New friends.
Ano yon?
You will be extending your friendship with some new friends.
Katulad ngayon,
Yeah.
naging online na tayo, 'di ba? I met different friends here online dahil sa venture ko online, and I introduced them to tatay.
Yes.
And then there was a time yung wala pa pre-COVID time tatay, we have what we call the Ecclesiastes training and development. So I organize seminars, invite some speakers, and then yung mga naging friends ko online, ini-invite namin pumupunta dito sa amin and do some workshops. So, naging friends na rin niya, and something na it's a healthy
Yeah.
relationship and a healthy
And they
activity.
become our mentors also
Yes,
sometimes. Especially siya na sino,
siya
Trixie.
Nasino, shout out to siya Nasino, to Trixie, sino pang naging bisita natin, no? We've got lots of visitors na naimbita, si Joey Tayaban.
Yeah, si Sister Joe.
Sister Joey Tayaban, and her hubby, pumunta sila dito, and we met a lot of friends. And sina Violeta, Maimpis, and si Cynthia Fuller
And we
with Success
also had a
Testing.
chance of meeting Bo Sanchez.
Yes, yes, yon. We met him at Shangri-La. So those are new things for us,
Yeah.
because they come from different places, and yet parang naging maliit yung mundo. And there was also a time when we went to Batangas, and
Yeah.
I attended a seminar with Coach John Orania. So that was also something na nakikita mo na hindi lang limited yung friends na dapat tayong dalawa, 'di ba? You also give space, yung respect the space of the individualism of your wifey and your hobby.
In addition to that, when we had our volunteer work for the drug dependence, we also met new friends there.
Mm-mm.
Okay. That was for 2, 3 years, I think.
Yes. So favorite talaga. So favorite talaga ang eating together. Yes, sir. So parang
Eating
ano
together.
na yan sa kultura natin Pinoy, na we eat out together and happy na tayo kahit banana queue lang, 'di ba? So eto yung napakaganda no sa ating mga relationship, na I really have to commend the couples na ang dami naman talagang magaganda ang relasyon.
Yes.
But we are not speaking out. Yung medyo malakas yung boses, lalo na online, yung gustong maghiwalay. Oo, yung
That's not fair. That's
naghihiwalay.
not fair
Oo.
for married
So
couples.
this is the time na tayong mga happy couples, we have to go out
Yeah.
sa shell natin para naman iparinig sa mundo na andito kami, nasa gilid lang, but we are happy.
We are happy couples.
So yan yun, subukan yung mga bagong bagay.
Eating, a couple that eats together stays together. I think
Okay.
that has sense.
So we have to show the ticker, become fanatics together, new things for your sex life, and then new friends, and then buy experiences. Okay, so we move on to the third booster. Yung pangatlong booster natin is managinip naman kayo.
Wala namang nakukulong dahil sa panaginip.
Yes, dream a dream. Ito yung na-discover ni Miss Sha Nasino when she did the workshop on happiness, kasi happiness coach siya eh.
Yeah.
And then she was actually doing a workshop and she told me, Jet, hindi ko akalain na ang dami palang tao na hindi na nanaginip. They no longer dream. And this is especially very sad kasi sa lower bracket, no, yung low income bracket natin ng mga kapatid, they think na hanggang dito lang naman ako eh. High school graduate lang naman kami. Bakit ako magdi-dream pa, no? So, I'm just let's say nasa mababang, kung sa tingin natin mababa yung work niya, level ng work niya sa standard niya. Hanggang dito na lang ako. So I don't have the right to dream.
Let me comment on that, Jeff.
Yes.
Bakit maraming hindi na nag-dream? Kasi wala nang time to sleep. Dreaming happens only in sleeping. No time to rest. So if you have no more time to rest, there will be no way for dreaming.
And of course, malakas yung fear factor nila.
Yes.
Na pag ginagawa namin, 'di ba tayo, we dream to be here online kasi nakikita natin na yung mga tao nasa online na talaga.
Yes.
And we dream na sana mayroon din tayong couple program
Mhm.
for other couples na hindi lang yung mga problematic couples, pati na yung mga happy
Happy
couples
couples.
na we can shout out together as a
Yes,
tribe.
energy.
Yeah, so we have to meet them together and be there and talk with them na
Yes.
this is a dream pa lang,
Yes.
diba? And it became a reality, but there was also a fear factor actually. Talagang normal sa tao na parang matakot tayo na meron kayong manood sa atin, meron kayong makikinig sa atin, we're not celebrities, but then it's not just about meron bang manood, but it's the joy of doing
It's
it.
the joy of
Yes.
doing it, sharing what we have experienced.
So, tanggalan yung fear factor kasi pag merong fear factor talaga, which is a normal feeling ng mga tao, because it also gives us the idea na kung meron akong fear dito, so meron akong itatackle na obstacle. So kung merong obstacles, anong gagawin ko para malagpasan ko yung obstacles na yan?
Yes.
So in that case, you cannot be happy if you are always fearful to do things.
These are two extreme conditions, being happy and being fearful.
So, managinip naman kayo together and dream a dream with meaning.
With meaning.
Yes.
Okay. And when we say with meaning, that has something to do with purpose of married life. And in our marriage challenge, we have come to the point of having that common end in mind, and that is glory of love, perfection out there in the summit of our married life.
Inaano natin yan sa roadmap natin,
Yeah.
diba? Sa 7-day marriage challenge namin, na yung ultimate destination natin, yes, we have the material destination. Gusto natin ng malaking bahay, magkaroon ng kotse, traveling, yun naman eh. Yung retirement natin, talagang nagre-retire tayo, na masaya tayo, yun yung mga material things. But the ultimate dream is when we have this glory of love.
Yes.
Yes.
And that is dreaming as if we live forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to dream in a way that as if you live forever, live as if you die today.
Oh, so
Yung parang titingnan mo nga, this will be our last day and we just have to cherish the moment. We have to savor the goodness of this relationship. No? So, we dream a dream with meaning. And yung parang booster natin, number 3 na managinip tayo, is when you believe in your relationship.
Yeah.
Kasi pag hindi ka na believe sa relasyon ninyong mag-asawa, then that's the time na sasabihin mo sa kanya, we separate ways.
Hindi kita asawa, you are not my husband, you are not my, we are not believing in the relationship.
So, kaya talagang we have to work it out that we continue believing in both of us, na kaya natin to, lalo na pag mayroong mga trials, no? Mayroong mga krisis sa buhay, mag-asawa, believe in yourself and keep your hope alive. Kasi pag walang hope, bakit ako managinip kung hindi naman ako umaasa na talagang it will come true, 'di ba? So in dreaming, may kakabet niya, parang naka-built in na yung hope.
Parang expectation yun. Parang expectation of something out there that we have to work out as a couple.
And meron tayo sa research tatay na sinasabi na make it smart. When you dream, make it smart, make it specific.
Specific.
Oo, make it specific. Kaya nga sabi nila kung magpe-pray ka, make it specific.
Parang sa teaching niya.
Yeah, and then make it measurable.
Measurable.
Let's say for example, if nag-dream kayo na after retirement, you have some retirement funds. Kaya nga daw hindi naging, kasi yung intent mo merong intention, di ba? Yun yung booster natin. Merong intention, tapos naman hindi mo ginagawa. So, merong intention, merong dream, tapos make it measurable.
That makes it feasible.
Oo, make it
Okay.
feasible. Realistic siya eh.
Realistic.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
And then you also have to assess, ano ba? Kasi pag, yun yung tinatawag natin na don't dream dumb. Yung bang, para kang gago na lagi ka na lang nananaginip, pero alam mo na hindi siya magiging totoo.
Papunta ka sa buwan. Hindi totoo.
So, you have to have some actions. Yung sinabi mo kanina na dapat pagtrabahuan mo yung dream mo.
That's illusion and beyond realization.
So you're doing nothing, wala kang facts kung bakit. Minsan kasi we do not do some research. Yung iba, they do some investments. Malaking investment sa pera, di ba? And then bigla na lang na-scam. Kasi they are dreaming to have big amount later in their lives, but then they do not have the facts. Oo. So kaya yung last talaga sa booster number 3, managinip naman kayo but do not dream dumb. No?
Yeah.
You have to have some data. You also have to do something about
That's
it.
very important.
Napakahalaga talaga niyan. So we move on to booster number 4. So booster number 4 is celebrate ang isa't isa.
Celebration. Celebration.
Magaling ang Pinoy dito eh.
Celebration. Kasi fiesta-oriented tayo.
So siguro from the Spanish culture na nagfi-fiesta tayo palagi, yon, we celebrate each other.
Even funerals have to be celebrated with big feasting.
Hindi naman sinabi na we're sad because we have a loss in the family, but then you can still see the smiles kasi yun yung parang reunion eh. Yung mga nasa malayo umuwi para mag-attend ng burial.
Yung nag-aaway sa family ay mag-reconcile doon.
And then we also celebrate good news.
Yeah.
Di ba? I-celebrate yung good news and we back each other up. And then yung isa daw na mahalagang phrase, tatay, di ba, laging sinasabi, I love you. Oo. So, pag sinicelebrate mo daw yung isa't isa, meron pang isang 3-word phrase na pwede mong sabihin sa partner mo.
I love you, that. Tatlo na yun.
I love you, that. So, hindi. Can I help you? Can I help? So, pwede ba kitang tulungan?
That's love language of Mary Chapman. Acts of service.
So, in celebrating each other, there is this feeling of generosity.
Of course.
So, be generous in spirit. So, of course, because we are celebrating birthdays, for example. So, andyan yung gifts giving, diba?
We are more joyful. This is the essence of booster because there is a celebration.
And when you have a generous spirit, you also have to love what your partner loves.
Yes.
Diba? Katulad mo, gusto mo talaga ng dagat. Ayaw ko ng beaches actually. So, personally, dahil hindi ako marunong lumangoy. So, parang, andun lang ako, nakahiga sa, isang sulok kasi hindi ako marunong lumangoy. So, I'm not so a fan of beaches. Pero eto siya, love na love talaga niya yung dagat. So, for a generous spirit, you have to love what he loves.
Yeah.
So, I have to go with him. No? So that's one thing that you celebrate each other, and you have to also give time.
That's important.
So you have to give time na gusto niyang siya lang mag-isa, gusto lang niya na nagbasa lang ng libro, huwag mong i-disturb, no?
So talagang i-disturb kasi nag-decipher ako sa aking binasa.
And then it will also cause unhappiness on your part, no? So when we celebrate each other, let there be joy in your company.
Yes. One thing about celebration, Jet, we celebrate because I personally celebrate with you as a partner because I consider you as a gift, God's gift to me. So when I receive something unmerited being given to me, that's the time I have to celebrate. And because you are here with me, that's the time I have to celebrate with you every day. Kainan talaga, araw-araw.
Yes. So, matanong natin yung mga audience natin, yung participants natin dito. So, how do you celebrate each other? paano nyo ba sinicelebrate yung isa't isa, no? So any suggestion, how do you celebrate? Kasi kung ano yung sa atin, different din yung circumstance ng ibang
Of course,
mag-asawa.
these are only insights.
These are only insights, no? So sige nga, you comment below and isulat nyo, how do you celebrate each other?
Yeah.
So, hihintayin namin yung comments niyo later and then we just move on to our booster number 5. So, booster number 5 is attune your spirits. So, I think I have to edit this because naging you siya, ano?
Attune
Attune your spirits.
spirits.
So, attune your spirits, tatay. So, how do we attune our
Let's
spirits?
define terms here. Spirits refer to inner self.
Mm.
Okay? Being with the inner self of the other.
So, when you are going to attune your spirit, ang mahalaga talaga dito in the love language is quality time.
Quality time.
Mm-mm.
Quality
So,
time.
you cannot attune yourself kung maingay. 'Di ba? With ourselves, tapos maingay, we cannot just be in synchronous, harmonious activity kung medyo we are not in a mood na medyo silent yung
The
mood.
keyword here is quality.
Oo.
Quality.
So you have to have great conversations, 'di ba? Great conversations na talagang nag-nurture ng connection natin.
Yes, I give a word, you receive it with meaning, and then you converse with me, and there is dialogue, not monologue.
Mm. Ito yung problema, alam mo, in our mentoring say venture, in our mentoring service natin, and we hear a lot of people, they really have the difficulty of connecting with each other. And usually the culprit is yung sinasabi nila, I'm busy.
Yes.
Oo, busy ako, wala akong panahon. Kaya hindi guarantee na meron kayong malaking bahay, meron kayong kotse, maraming pera. It's not a guarantee na happy yung mag-asawang yon dahil merong maraming material blessings. But if the spirits are not attuned, walang connection, wala na silang time na mag-uusap dahil busy na sa negosyo, busy na sa work nila, laging nag-o-overtime, walang panahon sa mga bata, you cannot nurture your connection.
Yeah.
So it really needs here yung sinasabi natin great conversations.
Great conversation, and we have to consider yet the setting of this conversation. Because if we talk to each other in a distant manner, like 50 meters apart, we will end up in shouting. There will be no great conversation there. So the quality time here presupposes a setting where the two of you are seated close to each other,
Mm-mm.
so that your words would be given in a very normal way, received properly, and then responded with meaning. Otherwise, we end up in shouting with each other. And the best setting here is the table. We have to eat
Together.
together
Mm.
because there is closeness. We are facing with each other, not that we are shouting against each other.
So when
Yes.
when we yung nakahiga na tayo
Yeah.
before going to sleep,
Mm.
some time of talking with each other kasi yung iba nakatalikod na lang eh.
Yeah.
They
Pagtatanda na, nakatalikod na.
pero tayo kahit
Oh.
hindi pa sila matanda, minsan
Oh.
they really have the difficulty connecting each other.
But what is inside their minds when that happens? Ayaw ko nang makita yung asawa.
I'm sleeping with my enemy.
Oh, that's
Mayroon tayong mga
different.
friends na ganun yung ano. At in time, dahil naman sa mentoring po, napapatch up talaga.
Yeah, because it's only a matter of passion. We had that last time. The next statement there would be, I don't love my husband anymore.
Mm. So, kaya nga, dapat talaga merong booster, no? Merong booster. So, ano muna natin, acknowledge natin yung comment ni Sir. We celebrate each other by enjoying the things which the other love doing. Example, I help her when she is baking or cooking. When I was younger and still played basketball on Saturdays in school, she made it a point to see me play. Wow, number one fan yan yung asawa. And this is
Fanatic.
fanatic sa ano asawa. Hindi. So, number one fun talaga yung wifey sa mga hobbies. Si hobby naman, number one fun sa
Yung
wifey.
my favorite na
This is a good, good, what's this, sharing ni Sir Joseph sa atin, kasi minsan yun yung nawawala na.
yeah.
Parang dahil mag-asawa na, marami ng anak,
Mm.
you have no time for each other. So kaya nga yung attuning your spirit says you reclaim the 10 minutes that you miss. Okay? Kasi minsan we are so busy with each other, just the 10 minutes. So you just have to reclaim the 10 minutes that you have been missing as a couple. So booster number 5 is attune your spirit by reclaiming the 10 minutes. And then acknowledge your partner's faults and accept it. Natatawa ako sa isang mag-asawa na merong sinishare sa atin, 'di ba, yung mini-mentor natin na paano ba nag-last yung relationship ninyo? Kasi in the beginning kasi, they were in love with each other, then at the middle of the relationship, laging awayan, and then later, naging okay na sila after ano. Pero meron kaming tinuturo and ini-improve pa nila yung mga tinuturo namin sa kanila. So sabi ni wifey, ano ba yung sikreto mo sis? At naging okay nga yung relasyon ninyo mag-asawa. Sabi niya, I listed all the faults of my hubby. Sabi ko, ha?
So
So,
parang,
I,
parang prosecutor.
para siyang prosecutor siya. I listed all the faults of my hubby and I told myself, these faults I am going to overlook.
Okay.
So which means, eto yung mga kasalanan ng asawa ko at hindi ko na eto isa sa isip. I'm going to overlook this one. Let's say, for example, you list na, etong asawa kong ito, yung makalat talaga. So, if I am always a complaining wife, I will no longer be happy, but instead I will overlook it. Ganyan na yung asawa ko. So, what I do, I just prepare a basket for the dumi na damit and ilalagay niya doon. So, parang nakikita ng hobby niya na, ganun pala, doon ilalagay yung mga duming gamit ko. So, in that way, ino-overlook ni wifey yung mga faults at binibigyan lang niya ng hint. Kaya nga, you cannot change someone but you can influence your partner.
Yes, that's
Oo.
correct.
So, in that case, naging okay yung relationship, no? So, parang technique rin yan ng mga wifeys na minsan, lista tayo ng lista ng mga faults ng mga hobbies natin and we no longer have a forgiving heart. So,
Yes.
instead, ilista nyo and number 1, forgiven na 'to. Number 2, forgiven na 'to.
Okay.
Number 3, forgiven na ito.
Yan ang message natin sa International Women's Day. For wives.
Yeah. So you have also to overlook, no?
Kasi stress kayo niyan. Parang everyday fault finder yung maka-stress yun. At marami tayong, we have so many friends who are so stressed in the relationship ending up in cancer.
Yes.
That is hatred.
Hatred kasi yan. Resentment,
Resentment,
anger,
hatred.
naging cancer.
Naging cancer yung wag naman.
And another, sa booster number 5, attune your spirits, tatay, is have rules for fighting. Kasi,
Parang criteria to.
kung minsan kasi talak ng talak lang eh. So, hindi naman palagi na si wifey nagtatalak.
Sino na?
Lalaki na matalak eh.
Pag may rules tayo, sino mag-i-enforce ng rules?
Dalawa. Kasi para siyang agreement natin na we do not quarrel in front of the children. And then we do not quarrel, let's say, at home. Yung merong mga mag-asawa na nagka-quarrel sila in a public place.
Rule number 1.
Bakit? Kasi pag nasa public place sila, hindi sila pwedeng sumigaw.
Yes.
Diba? So in a way, they quarrel in parang soft pa rin yung boses nila. So, ito yung nakakatuwa, no?
Galit
So,
ako sa'yo.
alam mo, sa mga Ilonggo, galit ako sa'yo, te. Diba? So, parang ganun. Malumay, no? So, have rules for fighting kasi minsan we go overboard and hindi na natin namalayan na sumasagad na eh. Below the belt na yung atake mo sa partner mo, yung mga boundaries. Remember that the greatest need of a man is respect.
And honor.
And honor. And the greatest, need ng wife is love and security.
And care. security and care.
So kahit
Okay?
nag-aaway, dapat na-express mo pa rin yung love at saka secure pa rin si babae na ako pa rin yung mahal.
And that is the greatest commandment.
Mm.
Commandment number one, honor your husband, respect or can take care of your wife.
And know when to stop.
Know when to
Mm-mm.
stop.
Know when to stop. Kasi uh, kaya nga yung iba, lalo na yung nagka-partner na medyo magaan yung mga kamay, eh kahit alam mo na provoke na talaga yung anger niya, nasasampal talaga kasi hindi
Mm.
hindi tumigil tumalak eh. So minsan we are provoking our partners para naman they will physically hurt us, no? So you know when to stop.
That's all about emotions and anger.
Yes. And then another thing, tatay, to attune your spirits, your inner self, is when you get your church on.
What is meant by that?
Tayong dalawa, ini-involve natin yung sarili natin sa parish, sa work ng community,
Mm.
and then ini-involve natin yung sarili natin sa community and we pray together.
Yes, prayer and involvement in the church.
That's what, because sa research, mayroong sinasabi na sino yung mga couples na napaka-high yung spiritual quotient, yun yung mga naglalast na relationship.
Yes.
Yun yung mga tumatagal na relationship.
Yes. But
So,
they have to be together in doing that.
yes. So,
Because it would not be also advisable if only the wife is getting involved in the church, the husband is out there doing some other things.
oh,
Right?
so how can you be happy? Naiwan ka, tapos complaining ka, ayun, yung asawa ko, nasa simbahan na
Nasa
naman.
paano,
Oo.
yata yan.
Oo.
Palagit na yan.
So pag nauwi, merong tantrum mo, yun ba yung galing sa simbahan? Nagalit agad.
Galit agad,
Oo.
oh.
So yung parang you really have to nurture it, no? To improve, to grow. So dapat mayroong space for growing.
And the basic here is praying together.
Mm.
Right?
So kung hindi sanay yung isa, meron kasing yung isa very prayerful, yung isa hindi naman, then your willingness to be with prayer, no, sa wifey mo or sa hubby mo should be there.
Those who have more shall give more. So, pag prayerful, mas prayerful yung isa, he or she has to influence the other, not to change but to influence. So there will be attunement of spirit.
Okay. So we are now into our last
Mm.
booster. And this particular booster is giving value to others. Magdagdag ng halaga sa iba. So giving value to others, paano ba yan? Ito, para sa akin, tatay, we are enjoying talking with each other. And at the same time, we are thinking. And
We are one in spirit
yes,
and body.
but then we are also giving value to
Yeah.
people.
That's service.
Oo.
Is it
So
service?
we look at it as service pa rin eh.
Yeah.
So we give value to other people. Let's say mga kind acts. So and then meron tayong tinatawag na tatlong S. Shared service in secret. Shared service in secret na meron kang tinutulungan, meron kang siniserve, na kayo lang dalawa yung nakakaalam. So yung service with in-laws, for example, na kayo lang dalawa yung nakakaalam, yung service with a friend,
service in the family.
Service in the family, and then that's another booster, no, na magdagdag ng halaga sa iba at the same time magdagdag ng joy sa inyo.
Yes.
'Di ba? As mag-asawa.
Because doing the service together will actually be a joyful if you are doing it together. Okay. That's why it is placed at the last, because prior to this you have attunement of your spirits. If you are not one in spirit and you do service, it will not be a joyful one.
Kasi magre-resent yung isa.
Magre-resent yung isa. Bakit gawin natin to?
Oo, bakit lagi tayong nagtutulong sa kanila? Bakit tayo na lang palaging tumutulong sa kanila? Yung you are helping, you are doing acts of kindness, but yet merong nagre-resent sa loob na isang partner. So you have to attune the spirit and then you give that particular. Kasi hindi pwede na yung happiness hanggang atin lang.
Hindi pwede.
You have to share it, and the joy that you are going to feel when you share it, mas malalim.
Yes.
Mas malalim yung joy.
Experience it. Now, it is so because marriage is a sacrament of service. Basically, there's no other way to have this happiness than to perform and to comply with its nature of being a service sacrament. Serve one another, serve others, and there will be joy.
Yes, correct. And another thing na pwede ninyong, you just have to be very creative. Yung ibang mag-asawa, they sponsor a child.
Yes.
They help other people, other children to go to school. Yung iba nagsisponsor para magpapare yung mga bata, no? And then in our case, we have mentoring.
We have
So we
mentoring
have marriage mentoring.
because we have been mentored also, so we
Mm-mm.
do mentoring.
So yung mentoring na na-experience namin, merong happiness at merong
Hmm?
joy, anong nagawa niya sa amin, this is now the paying forward.
Yes.
No? So we mentor couples and we are very happy when we see they post on Facebook kasi
Yes.
COVID ngayon, hindi natin pwede mabisita na they're celebrating events, they're celebrating occasions, yung true joy na, nako, and they will say na, nanay, tatay, salamat sa advice
Okay.
ninyo ha, dahil ano, nagkaayos kami, yung parang ganon na the inner joy is different, no? And then we also have to look into tatay na everything na yung boosters 1 to 6 natin, dapat naka-align siya sa God's dreams.
Of course.
Okay, dapat naka-align siya sa plano ng Panginoon sa atin. That is when you are going to live by purpose. You give meaning to your life kasi nabubuhay ka dahil merong purpose yung buhay
Of
mo.
course.
So, I would like to share kasi si Pope Francis pumunta sa Iraq.
Oh,
Iraq ba yun? Baghdad.
a controversial and controversial visit
And then
there.
I have read the message of the Pope about love. And if you have heard it, you may just again try to savor, no, the goodness of his words. Yet instead of growing weary and walking away the Lord, okay? Yet instead of growing weary and walking away the Lord, always remain faithful, forgive, and begin anew. This patience to begin anew each time is the first quality of love. Na kung meron talagang pag-ibig, and we can apply this in our relationship. Now, instead of walking away of the Lord, na mag-surrender tayo, hindi na tayo mag-believe ng relationship natin, and parang napapagod, growing weary of the relationship, na
Pagod na ako. I'm
pagod na ako
tired.
sa'yo, ayaw ko na sa'yo, pagod na ako, araw-araw na lang tayong nag-aaway. Instead of doing that, always remain faithful, forgive, and begin anew. This patience to begin anew each time is the first quality of love. Because love is not irritable, but always starts over again. Love does not grow weary.
Of course.
Hindi siya napapagod and despondent, but always presses ahead. So moving on, moving forward, it does not get discouraged, but stays creative. So eto yung boosters natin, 1 to 6, is they are suggestions, insights natin,
Of being creative.
oo, na maging creative kayo sa inyong relasyon. Faced with evil, it does not give up or surrender. So, yung mga trials, yung mga crisis natin, minsan na parang hindi na natin kaya in our relationship, do not give up, do not surrender, but instead find ways to learn, find ways na ma-preserve yung marriage natin. So, this is a good message of a pastor na mahalaga, dahil kahit it was addressed to Iraq, but when I read it, I said, pwede natin gamitin to for our relationship, no? Na we do not get tired of each other. So that's why we really need to be creative and form the habit of happiness. So yun yung last words ko, tatay. Meron ka bang last words for this,
It's like the world is like marriage. The world is so full of trials, full of trouble. And when the Pope was going to Iraq, this was the context. Apply to marriage, full of trials. One thing can only stand on the lampstand, that is love. It does not grow weary, it is not discouraged, and faced with evil, it does not give up or surrender. Never surrender our love with each other in marriage.
Amen.
Ah,
So, good morning
good
once again.
morning once
God bless. This
again.
is Nanay Jet and Tatay Manny.
And we hope that we give value to each and every one of you this very morning.
Yes, so don't forget to subscribe in our YouTube channel. So, mayroon tayong YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Georgette Elnar yung channel natin. And if you are watching on our page, don't forget to follow us at Marriage Empowerment Tribe. So, kahit nasa group na tayo, just to support for this advocacy of marriage empowerment, try to follow us and like our page. No? So, Marriage Empowerment Tribe. And of course, for those who are within the group, you may also download yung mga bago pa, hindi pa nakapag-download ng ano natin, short material, no? On 7-step solution to rescue your marriage before it starts to crumble. So, kailan ba natin i-rescue yung marriage? Yung wala nang time to rescue. So, while it's doing good,
Yeah.
while it's still growing, we have to nurture our marriages. So, once again, thank you for the Marriage Empowerment Toast.
Yeah.
Good morning and see you for our next Tuesday's event. God bless.
God bless. Bye, everyone.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
everyone.
So I think we still have one more comment. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So God bless. God bless then.